All right, here with Thomasdale head football coach Kevin Tucker. The Knights getting ready for the 2018 campaign. First scrimmage today with the Highland Springs Springers. And coach, it's just a scrimmage, but certainly you want to be the best. You got to go take on a team that's as good as Highland Springs. They've been the best in Class 5 the last 3 years. What did you get sense out from your guys? Things that were positives and things you got to really sharpen up on.
Positive. This is our first scrimmage. This was their second, so we knew they would be a little bit ahead of where we were at. So positives. We told our kids, look, they're in a little bit better shape than we are. So we just got to get a little bit better effort. We got to get ourselves in shape. We're running to the football. That's defensively. That's how we're going to play. Offensively, we got to work on holding our blocks a little bit longer. And we were there at contact, but then we were letting the guys loose. So that's something that the more contact we get, the better we're going to get. We've had 2 full contact practices because of this heat. Hopefully we're getting a break in the weather next week, and we'll be able to bang a little bit. I think that's going to help us tremendously. Being able to do full contact at practice with full pads on. Like I said, we've had 2 days where we've been able to do that since we've started. And, unless you want to practice at 8 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock in the morning, and most of my coaches work full-time jobs. So, like I said, we have to go in the afternoons.
Well, and against a team as explosive as Highland Springs, early on you kept them from getting some big plays, and they're known for those. And I thought your defense was the reason with that. With Rick, obviously, at linebackers committed, James Madison, Bryce Carter, defensive end. You got some guys in that front part of your defense, along with some good athletes in the back end, that really control things in the run game for the most part. Yeah,
Rick and Bryce, we expect big things out of them all the time. Those guys are Division I athletes for a reason. The ones that I was probably most proud of today was you watch Shameen Provost and Darius Sterling, 2 guys that are relatively unknown, but they had monster games early on. We just got to get them in shape. They got worn down a little bit towards the second and third quarters. Then you turn around and look at that middle linebacker, Adam Hall, played pretty good. And, if Brian Davis, number 3, can get in shape as well, he's playing both ways. He got winded. When he got winded, he started, putting his head down and ducking tackles. So, like I said, when we're healthy and we can get in shape, our starting level on both sides of the ball is going to be pretty potent. We just, as a coaching staff, I've got to do a better job of getting those guys in shape.
Well, you mentioned being healthy. Your quarterback, I think, today, foot injury. What's the status there? And you got a couple other guys battling for that spot, right?
Yeah, EJ, he's had like a little bit of a heel spur, bone spur, whatever you want to call it. He's been battling it all camp. We just didn't want to take any chances with him. So we were going to give him 2 or 3 series, and he got through the second series and went ahead and said, let's go ahead and pull him, because we got to find out who our backup quarterback is going to be. And, Courtney Burrell, came in there, played well at times. He's still young. Like I said, we expect him to make a few mistakes. And then Jimmy came in, and Jimmy made some great runs, but, we told him, he can't run the ball every time. He's got to be able to set up in that pocket and throw the ball. So, like I said, both of those guys are showing some promise, and we'll continue to work on that aspect of our game and get one of those 2 guys ready in case EJ can't go. And, like I said, get this offensive line going, and like I said, we'll put that 3-headed monster back here and take some pressure off the quarterback.
I think the most hyped your guys got was when Jimmy had a couple of scrambles, one of the reserves. It's good to see the teammates supporting him there. A couple more for you, Coach. Appreciate your time. Chris Tyree, we just chatted with him. He's got close to 30 offers. All you got to do is put on the highlight tape and see how great he is. And just a soft-spoken, humble young man, too. I think he's a guy that, even though he may not be the most vocal, your kids will rally around seeing what he does.
You got guys like Chris. He doesn't want any of the highlights. He wants the team to do well. And, he's just as disappointed as anybody today in our performance. We expected to battle a little bit more, and like I said, just being a little bit out of shape. Highland Springs wore us down. Chris came out and he told the kids, along with some of our other leaders, Rick, Adam, Josiah, those guys stepped up to the plate and said, look, pick your heads up. Krishawn Saunders came up, made a big hit, and I remember hearing in the 4th quarter when we had our 3rd and 4th string guys in, Krishawn's out there coaching up his guy that's backing him up at a 3rd and 4th string safety. That's the type of leadership that we want to see from our starters. And going forward, if we can continue to have that type of leadership, I think we're going to have a very successful season.
Well, and lastly, that's what I'm hanging on to. Before you get to your opener, you get another scrimmage coming up. It seems like just from watching you guys the last couple of years that you've been building for these couple of years coming up. You're very junior heavy. Guys like Chris Tyree and Josiah Williams as a newcomer leading the way for you. That these couple of years here in Class 6, and you know how tough it is with the likes of Westfield's won 3 in a row, and Oscar Smith and Colonial Forge and Manchester, just those teams in your region there with Manchester and Forge, that it comes to defense first. So you've got some of that kind of figured out, but it's a long way to go.
Yeah, the biggest thing on defense, I think, is finding out who our backups are going to be. Our guys that are starting right now are playing well, but, you're always just an injury. Whether it's a sprained ankle or something more serious, to being just an average football team. And we told, that was my speech to these guys, look, First team guys, we got to get you in better shape, point blank, because a lot of you guys are going both ways. And our second team guys, who's going to be the guy that steps up and becomes the Adam Hall of last year? Adam Hall stepped up when Devontae Chandler goes down with a torn ACL and steps up and makes second team all conference middle linebacker. So we're waiting for that guy to step up and become in. It might be AJ Turpek, it might be Constantine. We're just waiting for one of those guys to step up to the plate and take that challenge on.
It should be a fun year for the Thomas Dale Knights. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Absolutely.